Now, it is not uncommon for students, let's say high school or university students, to struggle with their work, whether it is for their daily assignments or they're preparing for their own finals. Sometimes what they're looking for is not always provided enough by the resource owned, namely their books, their presentation slides, the materials given by the teachers or lecturers, and many others. Now, coming from a student myself, we tend to look up the internet to see further information, to fulfill our research, and to enrich our work. And most of the times, we get the opportunity to get access towards free website that has this copyrighted educational content uh, that may provide the exact information that we need, or at least close enough. Now, in a professional academic view, this certainly can be a debatable thing in terms of ethic codes and the cognizance of the people doing the action. But I will further explain on how, through a further depth of analysis, it is not that wrong or an illegal act to do so. Now, coming towards the setup. Now, breaking this down to a high school to university student scope, they have reached the extent where they now need to look not just at websites but also journals to complete their research. Now, to note this down is that not all of these websites are free to access, and the reason behind all of this is what I'll explain further in my arguments. Towards into the mechanism, we will make sure that the both sides, which in this case are the students and the original creators of these contents, will get the benefits rather than the harm. How so? When they will get their view access, which gets them to the information, whether it's the overview or view of the main information, they can get above that, such as copying it or claiming it as their own, in what we know as plagiarism. As the education system gets more advanced, then there will be more tools that provide a check on their work to see how much they get from others, that will be shown in details. And because of this, the gradings towards their act will be given by their own teachers or lecturers, while in a way it will still protect the original content that has been published beforewards. And and to clarify, we have set a limit towards how far a student can get access towards the information. Now, most of these copyrighted contents can get only 25 to 50%, perhaps a 75%, but they are less likely to happen. So the creators won't have their contents completely stolen or even completely accessed without permission within the access. Now, onto my argument now. Why is this act okay, and why is it not completely illegal? First, it is not accessible to all students or to all people that needs it. Now, the reason why most educational contents aren't always accessible is because of the complicated process between the fundings, the legalization, the formatting, and more between the creator and the publisher themselves. Now, most websites would offer an account making to see few parts of the information that could support what they search or what they need, and an offer to subscribe so that they could access this information fully. And on another note, it's unlikely for people to completely steal the published information, since realistically speaking, people who are on the deadlines will be the ones that get crazy for researching what they want or they need for their work. By all means, not everyone in the world, and not all of them at the very same time, will do the act recklessly, and with that, it won't disrupt the whole original content uh, to be accessed illegally, or even to be stolen as well. And for the second one, the owned resource previously isn't always handy. Now, we may own books, we may have our own academic website, but it's just a lot at critical times. Imagine having to finish an article we need to search towards the e-library by alphabet orders, looking through the date published, checking the accessibility to borrow, and many more complications. And sometimes they aren't that updated compared to the websites. It might not match on what we need in many possible terms, matching the topic but not the year, and the other way around, and others. So in a way, there needs to be a maintenance run to cross-check the resources on and to be updated accordingly to simplify the students' work. And third, it is this is also a way of exposure. Now, there's the need to emphasize of how much a free website can copyright an original content that has previously published before. Right, just like how I mentioned it previously. We can always see who are the original creators where they are originally published while accessing. So the people that can get better access would think that uh, they will prefer the original website since it will be a better fit towards what they need, and uh, they provide exactly and completely all the things that they need in search, without having to sign up accounts, especially when it's a one or two times access only in the free website. Now, in a way, the original creator can get better exposure rightfully. Now, in terms of how much they can get access, depends on both sides' agreements. Now, even if it is way less of amount of access compared to the free website, it is never a zero. And to add that on, these original creators can get a better and more proper exposure within their original website, through a much proper exposure as well, whether it's from the higher academic as well and others. And in the end, the students just want a better resource to enrich their work. They don't have the intention to steal or ruin others' creations. And with that, we have explained on how the overall mechanism can be done, where both actors can get benefits rather than the harm. Yet it is why we should win this case. That is all from my arguments, and I'm proud to propose. Thank you.